Check, check, check. See, levels look good. Check, 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 check. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Corey, Creep Works, what's going down? Jan, Raising Chiefs, what's going down? Melody, what's happening? What's happening? Appreciate everybody for jumping on. Let's see. Let me know if you guys could hear me okay and the microphone's picking me up. Hey, Rice, what's happening? All is good. Coach Matt, what's happening? Let me see. Today, I kind of just wanted to go over really selling your products and services on social media, how to do it, how you guys are doing it, all that good stuff. Just want to say I like the videos of you riding your bikes. It seems like a cool crew. Hell yeah, appreciate that, Corey. Shout out to the LA Riders, my crew. Shit's fun, man. It's like being a kid. You know what I mean? Riding your bikes with riding your bike with your friends. You know what I mean? It's a cool thing to do. Very fun. I know they do it in every city also. Out here in Los Angeles, it's a big deal. I know Northern California has a good scene. Texas, New York has a really big scene. Florida does it. It's all over the place. So if you wanted to, you know what I mean, get yourself a bike, go on some of these rides, meet some cool people, have some fun. Audio's good. I appreciate that. Michelle checking in from North Carolina. What's happening? Nick, what's going down? Yeah, the reason I wanted to go over, selling your products and services and stuff like that today was we dropped the ebook over the weekend. Shout out to everybody that's already picked it up, that's been going through it, and shout out to everybody that's been tagging me in the content that they've been posting it and seeing some success and stuff like that is dope as hell. So I appreciate that, man. Marcus in Darwin, Australia. Hell yeah. Shout out to Australia. Good job on the ebook. It's helping to break it down into manageable steps. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for one for picking it up. Two, thank you for understanding how it was broken down and what its intended use is. The reason I've been talking about this for years. I've been making videos about this same exact strategy for years. I've been talking about it for years. Those videos on my channel get the lowest views, so it's always like maybe people aren't checking for it or people really don't care. But then the questions I always get from people is, how do I find customers, how do I sell my shirts, and that all that stuff is in the videos. Like I said, I've been making these videos for a few years showing the strategies that I use, especially this new one that I wrote the ebook on. I've been testing it out with so many other businesses to make sure it works, right? I know it worked for myself and I wanted to see if it worked for other businesses, other clothing brands, other clothing businesses, but then just business in general. Somebody selling services or other products, how would it work? And we implemented this same exact strategy word for word by that book. And all these businesses had seen success. So I knew that the strategy worked and the method was profitable for a lot of people, and that's why I ended up putting it out. Was we tested it across a bunch of different businesses, and shit worked out, which is dope. You know what I mean? Let me see. Schultz, what's happening? Stripes in, what's going down? Martial arts inspired lifestyle brand built around the idea that your stripes aren't given to you, they're earned through discipline, struggle, and what you overcome in life. That's my brand. Nice shirt you have on. Appreciate that. This was the shirt that we released at the Alondra Park Holalea in July. I remember the churro shirt. Hell yeah, churro shirt is still moving, man. The churro shirt still sells, and I haven't been posting or anything. The churro squad page has been pretty dormant and dead for the last couple months. But that shirt still gets sales, which is dope as hell, man. It's fucking cool that it still does that. I also have a sticker pack on there, and that sticker pack sells pretty good too, which is really cool. Um, but yeah, goes back to just the way I sell the products now versus how I was selling them, in 2018, 2019 when I first dropped the churro shirts is way different. Back then I was utilizing Facebook groups and kind of infiltrating Facebook groups to get free promotion. And then now I'm utilizing the strategy that's in the ebook, showing the process, me doing the shit, packing up orders, stuff like that. And it's going not viral, but it's making its rounds due to that strategy that's written in the ebook. And that's kind of why I just wanted to touch on some of the things in that book to make people a little bit more aware of what it is, because there might be some confusion out there that some people are like, I'm not trying to get into this to be a content creator like you, and if that strategy works for you, that's cool, but I'm not trying to do that. That's not what this ebook is about. It's not about becoming an influencer or some kind of a social media personality or anything like that. You're basically giving your products a free ride on getting a shitload of views and being seen. So I'm teaching you how to get your product seen or your services seen, um, to open up the doors of potential customers and potential clients, and basically just, you know, overall try to help yourself. You're trying to get your business to be discovered by potential customers. And I show you that strategy and I teach you how to do it. Within that ebook, and it's in video form and reading form through the ebook. That's how it works, you know what I mean? Super easy to have it all in one place versus having to find the vids a little at a time, even though every episode has a bunch of knowledge. Thanks, man. Wait, let me see. Super easy to have it all in one place versus having to find the vids a little at a time, even though every episode has a bunch of knowledge. I get what you're saying. It is going to be in a playlist um, after the fact, but the videos don't make sense until you actually read the book, if that makes sense. It's like it's going through what you need to do, and then that's how the videos play into the book. Because if you just didn't read the book and you just watch the videos, you would get it, but not really. You know what I mean? They play well together, if that makes any sense. Where can we cop the ebook? Just go to bigbrando.com. I have it on there, or you could go to ebook.bigbrando.com, and that'll be the direct link to it. But if you just went to bigbrando.com, it's on that front page, first product on there if you wanted to check it out. The strategy that I talk about isn't the only way of getting discovered. It's not the only way to do this. It's not the only way to get your brand seen or get your business noticed or sell any products. That's far from it. The biggest the biggest thing about what it's teaching you is creating a good habit for one, and understanding how to think outside the box. You know what I mean? I really touched on this 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when I was showing you guys how to utilize food as the driving force to promoting your products. Where I launched a hoodie, the brown South Bay hoodie. It only speaks to people that are from the South Bay of Los Angeles. More specifically, people that were like born and raised in the South Bay, because it says homegrown, so it's for locals from the South Bay. Very, very niche market, very, very small group of people to market it to. So the way that I ended up driving the traffic to my store, because you can only buy at the time you could only buy that hoodie in my store. I didn't put it up online yet. Was um I was using local food, restaurants, eateries, stuff like that in the South Bay. And when me and my wife would go out to eat, um, I'd basically just do not a food review, but just showcase the restaurant because people always share food with their loved ones and friends and family and stuff like that. Food content always gets shared. So in my head, I was thinking, how can I get my products to be shared by uh organically, not telling people, hey, go share this or do this and blah blah blah. So what I was doing was I was utilizing food. So I would go to popular restaurants, show what I was eating, what restaurants I was at, and then in the background would be the hoodie that I was wearing. So I'm going to South Bay restaurants, I'm wearing the South Bay hoodie. This video is only going to speak to South Bay people, and that's how I ended up promoting that thing. So what this book is teaching you is teaching you how to think outside the box to get your businesses seen. That's something a lot of people struggle with. Marketing is something that people struggle with. I think somebody just wrote that in here. My weakness is marketing, and this is what this book helps you with. It basically gives you the play-by-play on how to market your business, your products, your brand, whatever you're trying to do. This works for anything. If you're selling a tangible product, if you're selling your services, whatever you're selling, everything that I show in this book and in the videos and talk about is exactly what I've been doing for the last few years to market my stuff. And that's why I've just been doing it to test it out to make sure the shit works. And then I started offering it to other businesses and telling them to implement it into their stuff to see if it works for them. And once everybody just started to just see success and started to track up, that's when I knew something was going to happen. And this strategy is, it works. You know what I mean? It works. You do have to put the work in. So it's not one of those things where you could just post one video and you're gonna go viral and then you're gonna sell $1 million worth of merch. It's not how the shit works. I'm teaching you how to build up the habit to actually post daily. But if you couldn't post daily, it's broken down for you to post maybe 3 times a week. But it's showing exactly how to do it without breaking your back, without having to overthink what the hell you're doing. All it is just you're going to be pressing a t-shirt. I show you how to get 10 to 12 pieces of content out of you pressing that one t-shirt, so you could have things to post and how to promote your stuff and how to show your stuff off and how to get seen and how to ride the algorithm wave. That's all this thing is just teaching you how to do that, so you don't have to struggle with marketing, so your products can be seen by people. It's going to help you showcase products. It's going to help you find new customers. It's going to help the algorithm push you to the eyeballs that need to see whatever the hell you sell. And it's not a get rich quick thing. You know what I mean? It's basically giving you the tools on how to start marketing, and you don't have to do no thinking. Like, you're already going to be doing this shit. I'm just teaching you how to film yourself doing it, how to edit it down, how to post it. So then that way you can actually be discovered by customers. If that's what you're struggling with, if you're struggling to find customers, you're struggling to sell anything that you're doing, if you're struggling to find new clients for your business, maybe you want to print for people, if you're having a hard time doing that and you feel like the game is saturated or there's no space for you in this business, the ebook basically teaches you that, how to do it and overcome all that, so you don't have to think negatively no more. But I get it. There's going to be two different types of people when it comes to this. It's going to be the people that want the information, and then it's going to be the people that actually use the information. Some people just like to know everything, but they're not doers. They're not going to put it into motion. And then there's people that want to know the information to actually better their business, or maybe they tried all these other different marketing tactics and it didn't work for them. And now they're like, all right, I'm about to give up, but let me try this strategy out. If you haven't tried the way I do things, try it out. See if it works. See if it works for you. Like I said, everybody that I've implemented this strategy with, it's helped their businesses out. And the best part about it is this could be used for anything. It's not just for clothes. It's not just for t-shirts, for anything. You know what I mean? We tried it with a bunch of different businesses and the shit works. What a big homie. How's the hustle? Shit's working, man. slanging these t-shirts, slanging these hats. I just put a new hat up on the site, and we've been moving a shitload of them. And utilizing this same exact strategy that I'm talking about, I posted one video, and we've gotten sales every day since that video went up on that one exact hat. And once again, I'm not even selling the hat in the video. All I'm doing is showing the process on how it's made, and the hat's selling itself. That's the strategy that I'm teaching you in the ebook. It's not to become a content creator or influencer or a YouTuber or none of that. You're not going to be a social media personality if you don't want to. It's basically going to teach you how to sell your products through videos. That's it. Yeah, I posted this video, which was a recycled video of me making the hat. Put it up, put the hat on my website, and every day since we posted that video, we've been selling that same exact hat. Which means I have to buy more blanks so I can stitch up more because we're almost sold out, which is cool, which is a really good problem to have. So that's basically what I want to help you guys do. Bought your ebook 8 years ago. Can't believe I've been following you that long. Damn. Hell yeah. The first ebooks that we did was the list, the business, and the patch. The list was the first one we did. That was, yeah, I think we did that in 2017. I think when we did that ebook, I think, might be wrong, but I want to say so. Almost 10 years ago is when we first started doing that. And like I said, that shit fucking, those ebooks were dope. It's just information, you know what I mean? It was just packaged up information. A lot of that information was already in videos, but it's like all in one place so you can have it. Have you had any success with supercolor transfers on hats, or is it mainly embroidered hats that you have been successful with? Nah, I've done supercolor wearable transfer. I mean, supercolor hat transfers on foam front truckers. I did it on cotton poly front truckers, and I want to say that's about it. We sold a bunch of those. I usually bring those to like festivals and stuff. That's mainly the clientele that I have that'll buy that kind of stuff, is the foam front truckers and the cotton poly front truckers. I don't really put those transfers on like acrylic hats or 6-panel hats, because my clientele is kind of weird when it comes to that. So if you have the clientele for it, it's a good go. Not to jump subjects, but is there a time limit on using a transfer after you order them, or can I let a few sit for a week? Damn, man, I got transfers from years ago that I still press up, and nothing wrong with them. As long as you keep them in, a pretty much controlled environment, like in your room, throw them in a drawer or something like that, or in a box, you're all right. But if they're like exposed to the elements and a lot of moisture's around and shit like that, then they could go bad. But for the most part, throw them in some Ziploc bags, throw them in a drawer. I keep mine in a toolbox. But yeah, I got transfers from years ago that still press cool. Took a lot of it, tweaked some of it, but it is good info that helped me when I first started. Now I'm rewind stickers and shifted from garments. Oh, hell yeah. Full-fledged sticker company. Dope as hell, man. Um, you know, like I said, when you first start out in this business, you don't know exactly the direction. I mean, you have an idea on where you want to go and what you want to do, but you don't really, you're like figuring all the shit out. And then when things start to fall into place and they feel comfortable for you, there's nothing wrong with, pivoting and repositioning yourself to do some other shit that you didn't even set out to do originally. You know what I mean? For example, my embroidery machine, when I got it, I was just getting it to stitch for myself. And then I seen it was so easy to take in work and stitch for other people. And then we paid the machine off really fast by stitching for other people. We did that for like a few years, and we're making really good money. And then we noticed that it was kind of consuming a lot of our time. So then we stopped taking in orders from people and went back to stitching for ourselves. And now we have it dialed in where we just stitch for ourselves. We don't take in any embroidery work or anything like that. Not because we want to turn away money and stuff like that, but we also don't want to be a slave to the machine. That's not what we got it for. That wasn't the intended use from the beginning. That was just to make money with it, it was easy to go that way. So for myself, now I just stitch for myself. I make my own hats and I sell my own hats, and I have way more fun doing that because I'm selling my own product and not necessarily just like working for somebody else. Um, but I didn't when I first got the machine, I wasn't even thinking about stitching for anybody else. I was just thinking about doing the shit for my just for me, and that was it. But I found there's so much money to be made with, low quantity runs of embroidery work. But you just adapt, you pivot, you find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Um, that's dope, man. Congrats on the sticker biz. I'm in panic mode. I have an Etsy store. I can't find it using my business account email. What do I do? Wait, I have an Etsy store. I can't find it using my business account email. You can't find your own Etsy store, like where you log in and stuff like that. Your video is lagging and out of sync with your audio currently. Oh man, that sucks. Let me know when the lag is over or if it's lagging right now. Let me check my Wi-Fi, make sure that shit is on the up and up. All right, let me see. Jelly, hope you are well. Getting into digitizing embroidery. Just ordered a computer so I can smoothly run Wilcom. What is your opinions on their software? I have no idea on Wilcom. Um, the software that I have is I have Chroma. That's what came with my embroidery machine through Racoma. I don't know of any other digitizing softwares or anything like that out there. I hired an in-house digitizer to just digitize all my shit in my shop. That because, like I said, we just stitch for ourselves. So we used to outsource everything, and then now, we just do the shit on our own. It's not lagging for me. No lag here. Hell yeah. Appreciate that, everybody. Thank you for the update. So we'll keep that bitch rolling then. Yeah, to the guy learning how to digitize or wanting to get into digitizing, I'm guessing you just pick a software that you're comfortable with and you learn it, and then from there you could just, sell your services on how you do things, and um, something like the ebook would help you out too if you wanted to find more clients to digitize for. Utilizing social media to its potential when it comes to promoting your business is something we all should be doing. Like everybody should be doing that. A lot of people, what they do is they go hard. They'll post consecutively for like a week or two, and then they get burnt out, and then they're like, oh, what should I post next? And what you have to always remember with social media now is things aren't posted chronologically no more. Like your followers aren't tracking every post that you're posting. They're gonna find it maybe 2 days later, sometimes maybe a week later. I post the way that I post now is every single post that I put out, I'm hoping it's landing on new faces. I don't even want my followers to see what I'm posting. I'm posting with the intent that somebody new is gonna find me. So every single video is exactly the same. If you look at my Instagram page, just or my TikTok or whatever it is, just go on there and look at every video. Every video is exactly the same, front to back, start to finish. And it's because things aren't posted chronologically no more to the end user. So sometimes people might find your video that you posted 2 weeks ago today, and it might be new to them. It's just the way the shit works now. So like I said, the strategy that I teach in that book caters to that. So if you're struggling to sell your products and you've tried everything else, the book is there for you. If you didn't want to get the book, you don't have to. You can always watch all my videos because I talk about this same exact strategy in previous videos that I've made. You just have to go to the page. You got to do a little bit of the work yourself for that. Just go to my page and start looking at, how to find new customers. I title the videos as best as possible. How to find new customers, how to sell your shit on social media, stuff like that. Those videos will walk you through it. But if you wanted like the in-depth look on how the shit works, play by play, step by step on how I do things, that's in the book. Let me see. Thought about Pro 5 t-shirts. Nah, man. Pro 5, Pro Club, Shaka, those t-shirts, I kind of don't really mess with no more. My clients don't really care for them no more. Especially like Shaka wear went like kind of high fashion and they offer more than just the standard stuff. And then Pro Club t-shirts, it my clients really don't, since I don't run brands that require those shirts no more, I don't use them. So everything that's found in my store is printed on AS color now. Um, One, it's easier for me to get. Two, way better quality t-shirt. And three, my customers love it. So I only offer what my customers like. So when I say I only offer what my customers like, it's if my customers were into wearing, let's say like thin, um, fitted, soft cotton t-shirts, and I printed on Pro Club heavyweights, my customers wouldn't buy nothing because they're gonna buy it once and they're gonna be like, nah, he prints on these thick ass t-shirts. I don't like my t-shirts to fit that way. So I print on the t-shirts that my customers are familiar with and what they like. And so far in my store, the AS color block t-shirt is kind of a go-to where my customers like that fit. They like the way it washes. They like the softness of it, and it's still pretty heavyweight for a tubular t-shirt. So that's what I stick with. But Pro 5, Pro Club, Shaka, those same t-shirts, there's a market for it. If that's what your customers wear, print on them, sell them. You know what I mean? Did you ever try out Pro 5? I've seen Pro 5 at swap meets before, but it's like I said, it's not for me. Um, to me, the Pro 5 is like a bootleg Pro Club t-shirt. You know what I mean? Pro Club, if you're going for that style of t-shirt, Pro Club is where it's at. And then Shakaware was a close runner up. And then somewhere within the last 5 years, Shaka kind of took the popularity with their marketing and transitioned a lot of longtime Pro Club lovers into Shakaware loving customers, which is cool. You know what I mean? That's just how business goes. But that ain't for me, man. Especially Pro 5. Pro 5, if I had to choose out of those, I would probably go Shaka, Pro Club, then maybe Pro 5, but that's a maybe. Do you track the blank tees inventory on Shopify? I was using Excel for a while, but it feels very manual. Want to try doing it on Shopify? You can just punch in the inventory on Shopify. Be as realistic as possible with it. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. I really appreciate your gems and all your wisdom. I will totally cop the ebook. Yeah, not a problem. And I'm not saying this to be a sales pitch, like buy the ebook, buy the ebook. Like I said, if you're not struggling with selling t-shirts or you're selling your services or finding new customers and you kind of got your shit dialed in on your social media, you don't need the ebook. Like you don't need my strategy if something that you're already doing is working for you. This is mainly for people that are struggling with finding new customers and selling their t-shirts and selling their hats and just finding the customers on social media. That's what this ebook is for. But if you got your shit dialed in, don't even bother with the ebook. You don't even need it. What software do I use to design shit? I use Photoshop and Illustrator. I use Adobe for everything. I edit my YouTube videos on Adobe Premiere Pro. I do my design work in Photoshop and Illustrator. Um, I do like audio tracking and stuff like that with Adobe Audition. Sometimes I use After Effects in some videos, but yeah. Let me see. But I do appreciate everybody that has got the ebook, and I do appreciate everybody that's using the strategy now, and then like tagging me in the shit in the comments, so then I could check out what they're doing. And it's dope to see that kind of work, man. It's really cool. When you stitch on shirts, what blank do you use? I rarely stitch on shirts. Like maybe I can't even tell you the last time that I did embroidery on a t-shirt. My customers don't care for that. My customers really care about is embroidered hats and printed t-shirts. That's about it. None of them ever ask or are interested in embroidery on a t-shirt. What I can tell you though is when you do embroider on a t-shirt, try not to use the rip away like the tearaway stabilizer. Use the cutout one. Um, it just the tearaway one. I noticed when you wash the t-shirt, that tearaway stabilizer washes out in the wash and ends up making the shit a little loose. So use the cutout one. True North Beard, what's happening, brother? Who makes that tank top blank that you're wearing? Um, this one is Shockaware. Shockaware makes this tank top. I also tried the Smart Blank tank top. That one was kind of cool, a little thin. Shockaware makes a good one. All Style used to make the best tank tops, but for whatever reason, American Apparel never use that tank top mold or pattern, so you can't even find one no more. Trying to get my Shopify store up to speed before I increase my marketing. Hell yeah. You everybody like the store is important because that's where they're going to be fucking buying the shit from. But you also, pay attention to how you're going to send people to that store. You know what I mean? Steep learning curve, Illustrator and Photoshop and Premiere Pro, but they are so powerful. Feel like I have years of learning in front of me for Adobe products. The best thing about it is Adobe products are industry standard. So there's a million different creators on YouTube teaching you how to use these softwares. So the way I learned Photoshop was long ago, by clicking around. And then when YouTube came around, what I started doing was I would hover over each tool with the mouse, find out the name of the tool, and then I would type it into YouTube. And I just put like how to use Photoshop pen tool, how to use Photoshop text tool. And then there would be all these videos for beginners to show you the power behind those tools and learn how to use them. So if you're going to learn anything on Photoshop, I would learn the pen tool because with that you could redraw anything. You could basically trace whatever you wanted to and recreate yourself. The text tool is good because then you learn how to manipulate text, squeeze it in, make it fatter, taller, wider, all that good stuff. So text tool is dope, but the pen tool, you'll be able to recreate anything. You can redraw anything you wanted to. I used it to draw this like when I drew this guy, it's basically in Photoshop using the pen tool, and I drew him that way. How do you know what the customers what they want? You look at their social media. Social media is going to show you everything about a customer. If you went to anybody's social media that posts pictures of themselves, you can see how their t-shirts fit. You can see how they like to, because they're going to post their best photo of themselves, a photo that they think they look good in. You'll be able to see how their t-shirts lay. Is it loose? Is it baggy? Is it fitted? What's the print look like? Is it all over print? What type of brands are they into? You can find out everything through social media by looking at their pages. If you know who your target audience is, it'll be easy for you to find them and see exactly what they wear. So if you're noticing the guys that you want to sell to or the people you want to sell to are all wearing fitted t-shirts, it'll do you no good if you offer a loose, boxy fitting t-shirt because the people you're trying to sell to are into the fitted t-shirts. It's just doing market research. It's just doing your homework on your customers so you understand what type of product to offer them. You know what I mean? You have to make the shit that they're into. Like if somebody's wearing a Pro Club t-shirt, I could point that out in a picture anywhere. Pro Club has a tight neck. It has a different white hue than any other t-shirt out there. And if I see a customer wearing a Pro Club, you could tell the way it lays on the body, then I'll know that person will know what a Pro Club extra large or 2X fits like. So that'd be a selling point for me by offering that person or that customer, yo, I print on Pro Club. That's my target audience. I know that's what they wear. Easy call. That eliminates like half of the guesswork when it comes to that. If they're wearing streetwear type shit, Undefeated, if they're wearing Born and Raised, if they're wearing Stussy, if they're wearing, I don't even know what other streetwear shirts are out there, Supreme and Bape and stuff like that, then I know they like to wear their shit a little bit looser, has that streetwear fit. That's when I know I could offer things like the Shaka Wear active t-shirt, Pro Club Comfort. I could offer AS Color block t-shirt. Those are like standard fitting shirts that would be comparable to like a 1301. It's going to have that same fit, just a different feel. So then if somebody's wearing like a fitted t-shirt, like these guys are in the gym or they work out and that's just the way they like the shit to fit, then I know I could offer them something like the AS Color staple t-shirt. It's things like that that I watch and I pay attention to whoever I'm trying to sell things to. So then that way I'm offering them something very familiar already. You know what I mean? There's not like I'm pretty sure you've done it if you've ever bought a t-shirt online and you don't know what type of blank they print on and you get it and you're like, oh, this shirt fits weird. Like I don't know what type of blank they printed on, but it fits weird. I don't like it. Chances are you're not going to reshop with that person because you're going to be like, oh man, they print on this weird t-shirt, doesn't fit my body right. It's not the fit that I like, and you're not going to shop with them. But if the company prints on a shirt that you're familiar with, you're more likely to be like, all right, I'm an extra large in that person's shirt, so I'm gonna keep ordering extra larges from them. It's just how it is. Like for myself, I hate when companies print on Gildan. I don't like Gildan t-shirts don't fit me correctly. The sleeves are a little short and they're really wide. They just have a weird fit to them. A lot of Harley dealers print on Gildan t-shirts. So when I go to a Harley dealership, that's my thing. When I travel, I go to a local Harley dealer so I can buy a t-shirt from wherever I'm traveling to, right? If I look at the t-shirt and it's a Gildan t-shirt, I don't buy it. And it sucks because I do want the t-shirt because I travel to that place, but I know I'm never going to wear it if it's printed on a Gildan t-shirt. So for me, not that I'm a t-shirt snob, I just like the way certain things fit my body and I know what fits me and what doesn't fit me. So that's where I choose to spend my money. So I figure more customers are exactly like me when you're buying things. If something doesn't fit you right, you're not going to wear it. You're not going to shop with that person again. It just doesn't work out that way. So I like to offer my shit to my customers, knowing ahead of time what the customers are into. And how do I find that out? I look at their social media. That's all it is. Like we could find out all kind of shit through social media. Like that's what it's there for. You know what I mean? The vids are in the ebook. Yes, the vids are in the ebook. Read the chapters. You'll see the link to the ebook. I mean, you'll see the link to the videos. Click on them. Watch them. You'll the videos are there to aid in what's mentioned in the ebook, so it gives you a visual understanding. Like I teach you how to edit the videos. I teach you how to shoot the videos exactly the way I do it. I teach you how to edit the videos exactly the way I do it, and then I teach you how to post the videos exactly the way I do it. It's all laid out for you. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry. Let me see. I seen you made a video back then about Shockwear active t-shirts. Would you still recommend those? If your customers like them, go for it, man. Go for it. You have to buy whatever your customers are into wearing. Like I was just saying, that's how that shit works. I went to the website, but I didn't see the videos about how to shoot videos. It's all in the ebook. Sorry about that. The videos are in the ebook. So you go to the website, you get the ebook, all the videos come with the ebook. I have to agree on the Gildan sleeve length. It's a bit too short. It's short and wide, and like I said, it fits me funny. So I'm not really into that style of a t-shirt, but you know, it's like some people like Bella Canvas. Bella Canvas fits me weird. I don't like the way those t-shirts fit me, so I don't use them. I don't sell them. I don't wear them. AS Color fits me dope. Like I like the way AS Color t-shirts fit me. Not all of them, but the ones that I like. The AS Color Classic, that's my go-to t-shirt. I wear those blank every day almost. I print on them for myself just to wear. The AS Color Block t-shirt is what I offer in my store. The AS Color Heavy Fade shirt is something that I use for myself. I also print on it too. Those t-shirts fit me the way I want them to fit. That and my customers like them too. So it's good to know and understand how that stuff works as t-shirt printers ourselves. It's good. It's always good to know like what's good, what's not good, what you prefer, what you don't prefer. That way you have a better range of if a client ever comes to you and says, hey, I'm looking for this style of t-shirt, you'll know or go to like, hey, I like this one. I'll show you what this one looks like, so see if you like it too. Um, Let me see. I just got a MacBook and I'm having trouble connecting Cameo 4 Silhouette Studio. Also, it doesn't connect USB. You're probably gonna have to get an adapter. Like if your MacBook, like my MacBook Pro only has USB-C, you might have to get an adapter for it. Like the USB-C to USB. If it doesn't, then I think I want to say the Cameo 4 connects via Wi-Fi 2 or Bluetooth or something like that. I might be wrong. Um, but yeah, you would probably have to download Silhouette Studio made for the Mac. That's what I run on mine. I have Silhouette Studio on here and my iMac. So it is Mac compatible. Is the AS Color more of a loose or fitted shirt? It depends. There's different ones. AS Color Staple is a fitted t-shirt. Good, soft cotton, but it's fitted. The AS Color Classic shirt has a standard streetwear feel. Little loose, heavyweight cotton, but very, very soft. And a good collar. The AS Color Block, traditional, standard, tubular streetwear style t-shirt, streetwear, activewear style t-shirt. It's to me very similar to the All Style 1701, just with way better cotton and probably way better collar. But it's cut and fits the same, if that makes sense. But yeah, you have to just get what your customers are into. You know what I mean? Like what your customers are used to wearing. I would hate for somebody to just buy a bunch of t-shirts based on like this guy said these t-shirts are good, and you don't know what your customers might want to wear, and you buy all these t-shirts, and then they're like, "Nah, I don't like that shit," and they don't come back and shop with you. You know what I mean? So the idea is to get returning customers. That's how you really make it in this business, is by returning customers. You always want new customers to come and find you, but you want those new customers to turn into loyal customers and just keep coming back. The way you do that is keep dropping dope shit, but you also have to offer the person something that they're already familiar with wearing. What's the range of the AS Color wholesale prices? It all depends on what tier you're in. And it all depends on what type of blank you're getting. It could be anywhere from $3 up to fucking $18. Depends on the blank. It depends on the model. Depends on the color. Also depends on whatever pricing tier you're in. That's how you know, like the prices. If I tell you what my prices are and we're not in the same tier, then you're gonna think that you're gonna get that same price. But if you're not buying the volume that I'm buying, then it's not gonna make sense to you. You know what I mean? So when you create an account with them, hit them up, create an account, and they go through all that shit with you when you apply for the account. Super B or Superb Herb. I like to record my screen while I'm creating designs in Photoshop. You think customers would be interested? Hell yeah. When you're creating designs, that's like the coolest shit to like see that. I would time lapse the fuck out that thing, drop a voiceover, you'll be good. Yeah, the video would be sped up with music. Perfect. That shows the design process. It also shows your talent. It also shows what you can create. So when somebody's thinking like, I need a graphic designer, or I'm looking for somebody that could create, cartoon characters, and that's what you're drawing, that's the easiest thing. It's just people are going to start to see that, and they're going to understand what you're capable of. But that's the best way of promoting what you can do. You know what I mean? I would probably do like 3 with voiceovers and then 2 with just music. So then that way they'll get an understanding. And the voiceovers, I just talk through the process while it's sped up, do like a 30-second, 40-second time lapse of you like creating something from a sketch all the way to, finished product and mock-up or whatever it is. Just talk through the process, tools you're using, brushes you're using, software that you're using, why you're choosing to do colors this way or whatever it is. That shit'll be fucking dope. Just got my iColor 650 yesterday. Had to get a Windows computer, but it'll work out. Yeah, I had to do the same exact thing. I got me a little laptop to basically drive the iColor 650 printer, but good thing laptops ain't expensive. So I got one, and yeah, we put that thing to use. Excuse me. Let me see. Yeah, to the person asking about the Silhouette stuff and MacBook, I would probably go to the Silhouette website and download like the newest driver, newest Silhouette Studio from there, made for Mac, and then see if you could attach connect it via Wi-Fi if you don't have any plugs on, because I think the like MacBook Airs and stuff don't have plugs on them. That's my guess. Advice on how to start your own brand? Hell yeah. First thing you want to do is figure out your customers, figure out your target audience, who you're going to make shit for, what space you want to be in. Because you got to know who you're making the stuff for and who you're going to sell it to and who you're going to market it to. Knowing that shit is going to help you along the way. Most people do this. They have an idea for a brand. They're like, I'm going to start a brand tomorrow. They're going to start the brand, make all these designs that they think is dope, and then they're going to go out and look for the customers after the fact. That's doing the shit backwards. If you figure out who you want to sell to first, create the brand around those same people, now you have something to fucking drive home to those people. You know who you're going to market to, you know exactly who you're going to design for. You're going to make shit that's relatable to the end user to help you have a successful launch. Most people that do it the opposite way and they create the brand and then try to go find the customers after, they end up failing. They have a horrible launch. And when I say horrible launch, I'm talking about they don't sell a thing. Maybe their mom buys one, their cousin might buy it, like their family supporting them, but that's no way to build the brand. You're never going to get rich having, just the support of your friends and family. They're going to support you no matter what. You want to be able to go out to your customers first, find out who they are, what they do, what they eat for dinner, where they live. All of this stuff is basically going to tell you, yo, this is how you do this shit. This is going to tell you what, like, the shit they say, what they think is cool, what they think is not cool. You're going to understand like what they do on the weekends. You're going to understand everything about your customer through social media. Learning your customer is going to help your brand thrive. If you do not know your customer, your brand is going to fail. And I say that with the most, like, I don't want to say like that's exactly how the shit's going down, because it could be a shot in the dark and the shit might pop off, but that's a very slim chance for that to happen. If you want to see success right out the gate, know your customer before you start your brand. Um, any brand that I've started, I've wish I knew that information early on. When I found this information out, which was like early 2000s, everything I did prior to that was a waste of time, waste of money. I mean, I learned a little bit of stuff out of that, but I wasted so much money and so much time thinking about the business and never thinking about the customer. Once I changed my mindset on knowing the customer first, every single brand that I dropped since then has seen success in the very first launch that we ever did. And we've sold out every single time on every brand that I've launched. You can look at Leftovers. Basically created a brand on YouTube. Early on my YouTube career, I started a whole brand for YouTube called Leftovers. I dropped 6 designs and we sold out of everything. I think the logo tee and something else like we sold, but it was more supplemental, like so people could buy one thing and then drop the logo tee in also. But the main staple designs that we launched with sold out instantly. That was the Coogee sweater design. If you remember this shit, Coogee sweater design. That was the Ricky's Killer from Boys in the Hood. That was the Cheech and Chong design was the other one. Those ones sold instantly. And I created that brand for YouTube, showed you how to build the brand. I showed you guys how I marketed the brand, and I showed you how we sold out of everything. And I ended up selling the brand later. And that was all for YouTube. Like if you go to if you ever look at my playlist, the shit's called Starting from Scratch. I show you everything, how I funded the brand, my ideas for packaging and marketing and all that. I show it in real time. If you're gonna start a brand, know your customers first. Don't think about the brand, think about the customers first. Do you or anyone know where I can get quality distressed t-shirts? I don't know too many vendors that sell distressed t-shirts. Hopefully somebody in these comments could help you out. I don't know too many. If you're just looking for like faded t-shirts, like vintage looking, but not like ripped up and shredded, but just pigment dyed and stuff like that. AS Color offers them. I think Smart Blank, I think offers something like a pigment dyed t-shirt. I think Shockaware does also, but AS Color probably offers the most of that kind of shit. There's people that use Comfort Colors. There's people that use LA Apparel. I think all of those. I've never used them, but I know people talk about them. Fat Heck, what's going down? Stafford White Tee. Stafford White Tees from J.C. Penney's used to be a go-to for myself when I was in school, man. That's a good shirt. Have you ever gone to trade shows as a vendor yourself? Hell yeah, I have. And I've lost my ass doing that kind of shit. Well, I take that back. There's certain trade shows that are made for small brands. I was trying to play with the big dogs and I was not prepared for that. So when you go to these bigger trade shows that have buyers for, big companies and stuff like that, it's good to showcase your stuff if that's what you're trying to do, but it's also another thing when your booth fee is like close to like 8 to 10 grand for the week, and then you also have to pay for the build out of the booth, or you're just gonna have a table and some racks, which is gonna make you look fucking weak in the trade show when everybody else's booth is gonna be built out around you. So nobody's ever gonna stop by you. You also have to have your line sheets ready for that kind of shit. Not a good thing. But when I started hitting up smaller trade shows that are made for the smaller creators, then it was easier to sell products and stuff like that. But when I was just trying to showcase my brands before, I went all out and I fucking trademarked everything. I did everything the right way. Everybody thinks you're supposed to do it. Um, and I was doing the trade show circuit and failed horribly, horribly. I just wasn't prepared for it because I didn't understand what I was really doing. You know what I mean? I just thought I had to be in those spaces because that's where the big brands were. And for me, it really wasn't. It was more of networking, schmoozing each other, and stuff like that type of event. And I didn't know because I didn't know anybody there. Um, one of one of my OGs that really put the battery in my back was a dude named Eric Hirakani. He owned and started one of LA's biggest clothing brands called 110 South back in the 90s. Rest in peace to Eric. That dude he's the person that I always think about when you want to like think outside the box. He used to like use those trade shows and stuff to do his marketing in. He didn't have a booth there, but he used to just show up with the crew and get his products into the hands of celebrities. Because at those big trade shows, we're talking like Magic, Agenda, like those the big trade shows would used to have, which would be like Complex now. Like the Complex Con trade show is like where celebrities come out to these booths and they're there. So what Eric used to do was he would get his t-shirts and his hats in front of celebrities and rappers and artists and athletes and all this stuff for the marketing aspect. And he would roll up in there and just boom, get these guys to hold up the shirt, take a picture of them, take a picture with them, whatever he had to do to get his product in the same photo as whatever artist or celebrity that was there, and use that as marketing to start like churning the fucking wheel on getting people to notice the brand. And this is in the 90s. So there's no social media, there's none of that shit. He was going around with, a fucking camera, regular point and shoot camera, and he would just have a duffel bag full of his products and he would just walk the trade floor and be like, yo, check out this. And when the celebrity is looking at the dude's shirt, boom, they're snapping pictures, boom, boom. So it looks like, yo, this celebrity's interested in 110 South. Some of the celebrities would put it on and keep it or wear the hat. So he would have catalogs. The homie Raw Tunes is posting these things up now of just photos and photos of Eric with all these different actors and entertainers and athletes wearing 110 South, Holding Up 110 South, all the shit, everything from Magic Johnson to Ice Cube to fucking Travis Barker to fucking you name it. I think he even had one with a sumo wrestler. It's just he knew how to do the shit, and that was just thinking outside the box. Where it's like, oh, I don't need a booth at these trade shows, but let me just go over here and just do my marketing. And he would network a little bit, but he was really using it for his marketing. I always thought that was genius. I always kind of looked up to that kind of shit because I was like, fuck, that's like, if you're not going to be in that space, there's a way to utilize that space in your favor, and that's kind of what he used to do. So I used to see that, and I used to be like, "Yo, that shit's dope as fuck." I used to like that and get a kick out of it. Um, but that's something that, like, not a lot of people are thinking about. I mean, now people do this shit all the time, where it's kind of like people are privy to that, but back then nobody really was. So it's kind of cool. But when it comes to like vending at these trade shows, like when the sneaker shows were really popular, I used to vend at those things. We're talking like old school Dunk Exchange, Sneaker Pimps, Kickspo, like the old ones. I don't know what they have now, what type of sneaker shows they have now, but the brands I used to run were all based on that. Were based on sneaker culture and streetwear and stuff like that. So if that's where my audience was, or my the people I was trying to sell to, if that's where they were at, then obviously that's what I'm gonna try to be there and promote the brand and sell some shit. Hopefully that answers your question, man. But shout out to the person talking about Stafford white tees. That just brought me back right now, man. Stafford white tees. Let me see. You ever tried Facebook Meta ads to test designs and see which ones get the most clicks? I don't pay for none of that shit. I don't do none of that. I don't. This is how I see Facebook ads and boosting your post and all that stuff works out. Is it's a numbers game, right? So the bigger your budget, the more you're going to get seen. The smaller your budget, the least amount of people will see your shit. And when you're going up against bigger companies that have bigger budgets, I feel like your ads would get pushed down a little bit lower than the other ones that are being shown. That's just my guess on it. So for me, I was always like, no, I'm not going to pay for it. I just rather utilize social media the free way and use creative tactics to get my shit seen. But I've never tried doing any of that to test out designs. I usually test the designs out in person. I'll create one T-shirt with the design like this one, and then I'll wear it to where I think people would be at. And then from there, I would see if people ask me, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" Or can I take a picture of that? Or just see if people are like looking at it or not looking at it. That's the research that I kind of do. And then judging by those interactions is if I move forward or not. But before it even gets to the testing phase, it'll go to, I utilize things like I call them like focus groups. They're not really focus groups, but it's kind of like a chat group that I have with a bunch of like-minded people, other creatives. I usually throw designs in there, and then everybody critiques them. Everybody does it, so I'll throw it in there. People will critique it. Other people will throw their designs in. We'll critique it. It's just people that I value their opinion. They're not yes men. They'll tell you if something's cool or not cool. I utilize that. That's kind of what I wanted the Facebook group to be. I don't know if the people are using the Facebook group that way, but that's what I wanted it to be, is where people could test out their designs that way and just get a better understanding on what needs to be fixed, or this will be good, or how to market it, or how to use it, or what. Like, sometimes it could be minor tweaks to a design that we're not seeing, but somebody else from the outside looking in that has no investment in what it is can tell you the truth and be like, nah, this one doesn't speak to me, or this one flows really well. This will look good as a back print, but not a front print. That kind of information. So finding some friends that are down to do that. That's what I started the Facebook group for through Patreon, was just to try to get as many creatives as possible to share what they're working on, so everybody can help each other. Because it works for me. Like my focus group, like I said, I've had this chat group for a long time. We all used to use Snapchat And that's where it started. Was we'll Snapchat each other designs that we're working on, and then everybody would chime in and be like, "Yo, that's dope," or "Yo, you should fix this," or "I would add this," or "Try this font instead of this font." And then I started to notice that thing really works. So then we moved it from Snapchat to a text group, and now we just kind of, you know, constantly whenever we're working on something, snap a picture of it, send it to the group with no context, and let the people in the group be like, "Yo, this would be dope on a T-shirt, or this would be dope on a hoodie," or "Nah, I don't know this one, I don't understand this one." Because if you have to give a lot of context to the design, then that means that design isn't speaking the way it should be speaking. Like somebody should see the design, know what it is, and relate to it like right away. But if you have to explain the design in great detail of what it is, then it's not doing what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? So for me, anytime I throw something in that group chat and it's a win and like everybody's down with it, I'm like, yo, usually that design does pretty good. And then I'll print it on a t-shirt. I'll just make one. I wear it around and then they're like, yo, that shit's dope as fuck. And then I'll go through with printing it and selling it and stuff like that. Like for instance, when I did this one right here, did the same exact thing. Group chat, made one, and then I wore it to a Hawaiian festival that was going down in Santa Fe Springs, and I wore it around, and then people like, "Yo, that's dope. Where'd you get that from?" Blah blah blah, and then that's how I know, like, oh shit, when I'm vending at the Hawaiian festival in a month at my booth, I'm gonna offer this shirt because people are interested in it, and then ended up selling out. So that's kind of how I do my testing. I don't know how the Facebook world or the ads and all that would work with testing out designs, but that's my method. That's what works for myself. Devoted Brando's the goat. I appreciate that, man. I've been loving the push up videos too, man. Dope as hell. Let me see. Nick said, just grab the ebook, $35. We'll tag you when I use the idea. Hell yeah. When you start utilizing it, please tag me in the content so I could check the shit out. I'll give you some constructive criticism if it needs it, but I'm really, really hoping people understand how to create the habit of creating content without making it a second job to you. It's going to teach you the simplest strategy to turn a job you were already going to do into multiple pieces of content to use to promote whatever the fuck you want to sell. Appreciate that though. Sounds about right. That is what my experience so far. But as you say, budget is low. I generally have to pay more in ads than I'm making profit from the sale. Not good business. That's how I've always seen the ad space because, like, when you're competing with the bigger guys with bigger budgets, um, it's a numbers game, right? So they're throwing, you know, $3 grand a week at advertising. And let's say your budget's $30 a week. Their ad is going to get, you know, pushed on top of yours every single time. So that's why I've never got into that game. I know there's dudes like homie from Hustle Ninjas, like he teaches how to really use ads and stuff like that. But it's one of those you got to pay to play. You got to have a decent sized budget to get something out of it. It's always been a no go for myself, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying that's how I've seen it. So I've always tried to do a free method to gain sales. And I might have to do a lot more work, but I'm not going to spend or waste any money doing it the way that I do it. So that's why I utilize the free stuff first until I, you know, exhaust that strategy and it doesn't work anymore. Then I might have to go to paying for ads. But as of right now, and for the last fucking, I don't know, 15, 18 years, I've been selling shit on social media. I haven't had to use it that way. It's fine now, got it fixed. Hell yeah, Kathleen Thompson. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see. Let's see, making sure my Wi-Fi is straight. All right. Like the method I used to teach, and I still use this till this day. I don't use it as much on my Big Brando TV page, but like when I run a brand, this is usually my method. Is I know who my target audience is, right? Who I'm trying to sell something to. And let's say I'm in the fitness world and I'm trying to make a fitness brand pop off. How am I going to find customers? Majority of the people are going to go straight to the gym, do photo shoots in the gym or something, get some swole dudes and some fitness models to wear the gear, take all these fancy pictures, and get it going. The way I would do it is basically I would post a few product photos and things relating to the brand, whether it's workout advice, tips, tricks, things that I do, maybe myself in the gym working out or something like that. But it's just to get the products visible on the page in a creative way of doing it for myself. And then on top of that, I would go to popular fitness hashtags that I would find on social media, and then I'd start looking for people that would be potential customers, right? And if I'm looking for gym goers, stuff like that, obviously I'm gonna look for the people working out. People always post their workouts, so those are all my potential customers. I click on their page, and I wouldn't talk about nothing about working out on that post. I probably comment on what they were eating or what they drive or anything else that they posted. Create the conversation just so I could get that person, be like, who is this person? Let me see. They're going to click on my page and see my fitness gear that I sell. That's the easiest way of selling things. A lot of people don't like doing that method. A lot of people don't think that method works, but I've been using that motherfucker for the longest time. When I was running leftovers, that's exactly how I sold every single t-shirt when it came to leftovers. I show you in the videos. Look at starting from scratch. Look at that series. You could go back and check out exactly what I was doing. But that's how I sold everything. That method still works till this day. People still hashtag stuff. You could still find people through that. And you sometimes don't even have to use a hashtag. You could just type things in the search bar, and then it'll populate things that people put in their caption or videos or posts that it's about. And you could find people that way too. One of the easiest ways to sell products on social media. The way I teach in this ebook is a lot different, but it's still shit works. It's more current for today times for like TikTok and stuff like that. But it's all about getting discovered. It's all about people finding out that you exist, and it's all about being able to promote your stuff without really promoting your stuff. That's what it comes out to. Customer wants me to put a design on a t-shirt. She will provide. How much could I charge? Wait, how much could I charge for the design? She's providing the design, so you're just doing the printing and pressing for her. That's basically just your labor. So you charge her what you think your labor is worth to do that. Are you still using TikTok lives? I haven't been on TikTok live, man. I need to. The microphones that I use is at the shop, so I always forget to bring them home to go live on TikTok. So I haven't lately. You think someone starting from scratch can make a profitable business that they don't have to work another job in say 2 years? Fuck yeah, they can. How long did you take to build one you didn't have to work for the man? I'll tell you like this, man. I made a playlist about this shit too. The playlist is called Printing Money. It was one t-shirt, like one t-shirt design in one colorway, and I sold thousands of those t-shirts. It was the churro shirts. And it was instant. It was test the design out with your target audience, find out that they're really interested in the shit, put it on a website, and then boom, you start running with the shit. I was promoting the shit illegally on Facebook groups. There's a lot of Disney Facebook groups that were against posting links and shit like that. So what I would do is I would tell the owner of the Facebook group, yo, I want to give these t-shirts away for free. If anybody finds me at Disneyland, this is what I'll be wearing. They could get this t-shirt for free while supplies last. And this is just for your Facebook group. So what that ended up doing was the admin was like, oh, cool, I'm getting something exclusive here. You're going to give something to my people in my group for free? Cool. It allowed me to promote my t-shirt. Now I could post a picture of me wearing the churro t-shirt that I'm giving away for free, but I'm also selling. I didn't post the link, but now they know who sells that t-shirt. So when they click on my page, boom, the link's there. thechurrosquad.com. Buy it right there. But then people start looking for me at Disneyland and they'll come up to me and be like, yo, I seen you in the Facebook group, heard you giving out a free t-shirt. I'd give away one for free. And then anytime anybody else would come up to me after that, I'd be like, oh, I'm all out. I gave them all away. I post a picture with me and one of the people from the group that won the free t-shirt. So it shows that I'm legitimate within that group, that my giveaways are legit. And then everybody else that would come up to me, I'd give them a sticker. And I use the stickers as business cards. It said the Churro Squad on it. It was the praying hands with a churro. Boom, boom, boom. That catapulted me like crazy. That marketing tactic worked. And then all I would do on social media on Instagram was repost people eating churros, using churros, people that bought my t-shirts. That's it. I would just repost that shit constantly. Once I reposted it, they would repost it on their pages. People would start to see it and then people would buy. But it was all about getting my product into the right faces. So when you ask if like, can somebody do this within 2 years? I did that shit within fucking months. Um, Within maybe like a month and a half to 2 months, we were like, I was shipping out orders up the ass. Like we called my little shop where I was printing the shirts the Churro Factory because that's all we're doing was pressing up these churro t-shirts every single day. Um, it even got to the point where I would fill up my kid's stroller, like the bottom part, that little basket. We fill it up with shirts and then we sell the shit at Disneyland. So we'd get up in Disneyland, people like, yo, that's a cool shirt. I'm like, man, I got them right here. What size you need? We did that for a little bit. We did the giveaways for a while. That was just an easy way to promote within these like Disneyland groups. And there's hundreds of thousands of members in these groups. That's where they promote like a lot of the like news about Disneyland, new food coming out, and you know how long are the wait times at Disneyland, and what are the park hours and special events and all that shit. And then it'd be my dumb ass wearing a churro t-shirt, picture right there, like, yo, he's doing a free giveaway. Find him today, and he'll give you one. Gave me a chance to promote my t-shirt in front of hundreds of thousands of Disneyland lovers that love churros. And then it gave me a chance to actually do something cool by giving one t-shirt away for free. They didn't know I was only giving one. They just knew I was giving shit out. So people would intentionally share the post and like, yo, this guy's giving away this cool t-shirt. First person that finds me, they get the t-shirt. We take a picture. I post it all day long as people are coming up to me looking for the t-shirt. I'm handing out stickers. Like, I know they're interested in the shirt. That's why they're, they want one for free. But if they couldn't get it for free, now I'm turning them into customers. Now, like, yo, I like that t-shirt. They end up buying. So we ended up doing that for a long time, and it was dope till the pandemic hit, and then we didn't go to Disneyland no more. Well, nobody was going to Disneyland because they shut it down. And yeah, but I haven't even brought it back all the way yet, and the churro T-shirt still sells to this day. I actually have 2 orders now that I need to get out tomorrow of the churro T-shirt, and I haven't posted anything about churro T-shirt. People just find it, old posts and shit like that, and they're buying it still. But yeah, it's very doable for somebody to have a profitable business early on, but you have to know your customers before you do anything. Customers are the one that's going to keep your business thriving. Know them, excuse me, know them, cater to them, give them things to relate to, and you'll have customers for life. I use an iPhone to film all my short form content. I use an iPhone. When you're pressing front left chest prints and then flip over to do the back, is it okay to press the full T again? Yeah. Heating doesn't fuck it up. I mean, I've been doing those t-shirts forever that same exact way. I just lay the shirt down, press it, flip it over, lay the back print on, no issues. That's how I press all my shirts. Nothing fucks it up or anything like that. That's how I press this one. Adding more heat and stuff like that, it's not going to affect it. Like, unless you're keeping the shirt under there for like 2-3 minutes, then yeah, that it'll probably fuck it up because you'll start to scorch the t-shirt. But outside of that, for a few seconds, you're good to go. Nothing wrong. Going back up to the person I was talking about, Kathleen, about putting designs on t-shirts, the customer's providing designs. So all you're doing is basically providing the transfer, um, and pressing it on the shirt and the t-shirt. I would charge them for the blank t-shirt and your labor. Obviously the transfer also. If you're using HTV or whatever, charge them for the HTV, some material costs, but then your labor is going to be built in on how long it takes you to do that and whatever you value your labor at. Good to hear. Have done a batch of 50 like that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Let me see. Let's see what's on the back of your shirt. I showed this in a YouTube video, but it's just a Aloha design. You probably can't even see it, but and it basically just says you have to give aloha to receive aloha. That's kind of like a, a lot of people try to take advantage of aloha, so it's just a basic reminder that you have to give it to get it. But I have this. There's a YouTube video showing this exact T-shirt, how I marketed it, how I sold it, how we did at the festival. Check it out. Let me see. Trying to scroll back up and see if I missed any questions. Appreciate that. Looks great. Thank you. All right. Yeah, when I posted the ebook thing on social media, when I posted it on Friday, I think on Instagram, there was some confusion. Like people were like, "Man, I don't want to. I'm not trying to be you." That's what they're saying. Was they didn't want to be a content creator, or they didn't want to become an influencer or anything like that. And the ebook is not that. The ebook is basically teaching you how to promote your products on social media so you could actually make sales. But it only makes sense if you are struggling in that category. If you're struggling to make sales, if you're struggling to sell your t-shirts, or you're struggling to find customers to like print for, maybe you operate as a print shop and you're trying to do custom shirts, or you're trying to print, just find new clients. That's who this ebook is made for. It'll teach you how to do that, how to promote that service, how to promote those products, and how to get seen by hundreds of thousands of people for free. Like I'm not telling you you have to pay for ads or any of that shit. It's just how to create the content to actually get seen by people that would actually be potential customers. But only if your business needs it. If, like I said, if you're already doing something and it works for you right now, I do not recommend getting this ebook, because I would hate for you to stop what you're doing and try some new shit out. If you're already doing something and the shit's working, fucking go for it. But if whatever you're doing isn't working, there's another option out there. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I do the shit. Do you use any Shopify apps for your website? No. I just use Shopify, put the products up, sell them. I just ordered a variety of shirts to compare fit and feel from All Day Shirts. That's exactly how you do it, man. You're never going to find what you like if you don't try this shit out. You know what I mean? Most people buy based on just looking at pictures online. I need to fucking feel the shit. I need to press on it. I need to wash it. I need to see how it reacts in the wash. I need all that information in person for it to make sense to me. You know what I mean? But that's how I ended up finding AS Color, and that's how I ended up finding what I like and what I don't like. That's how I ended up finding the old All Style 1701. Before I got onto YouTube, nobody talked about the 1701. Everybody talked about the 1301. And I was like, I was familiar with the 1301 already, and I was like, that's cool. When I started looking at All Styles website, that's when I found the 1701, and they used to have a 1701R. 1701R just meant it was a ring spun version of that. Back then, if you were using a DTG printer, you had to print on ring spun cotton because that's what worked the best at the time. So ring spun cotton t-shirts were a big deal. So I started using the 1701R with our DTG printer, and then I would just use the regular 1701s after that, and fell in love with that t-shirt. That was my main go-to shirt for years, man. Probably for like 10, 11 years of just printing on that, offering that for all my brands. And it was just a dope all-around t-shirt until Gildan bought All Style and then ruined everything. You know what I mean? So that's just how the shit goes. So thank you for watching the push-up videos. Do you think that's worth buying the blue check mark? Wait, do you think that's worth buying the blue check mark for the push-up videos, or just in general to buy it? It's up to you if you need it. I don't really see a need for being verified or anything like that anymore. It used to mean something, but then once people were able to buy it, I think it took it away. But then it also adds security to your page too, I think. So stuff like that might be beneficial. I can't tell you. I don't even know how much the shit is. Like if they're charging like $100 a month or something, I wouldn't. I would say no. I don't think it's worth it for that. I don't know what the going rate for on a check mark is though. So uh, yeah, it is what it is. I would say keep doing the push-up videos though. I think that shit's pretty entertaining, and it's kind of a good thing to watch, track the progress and stuff. You know what I mean? As a music artist, would it be easier to sell your brand? Yes and no. You would need a lot of influence as a music artist to be able to sell your brand. Um, when I say influence, I mean, you know, if people are tracking for what you're wearing and stuff like that, and you saying something is cool will get them to buy into whatever you're selling. Yeah. But I think it's better to try to do this where it's like you use the brand in aid of promoting the music and use the brand to pump, I mean, use the brand to pump the music. If you keep music the actual thing, I think you'll be in a good place to build the community for the brand around music. You know what I mean? I wouldn't try to stray away from music to do the brand if that's the goal and not to do music anymore. Yeah, but if doing music is what's the main passion, I would say uh use the brand to promote the music. Autocrack got me. Do you think it's worth buying the blue check mark? I don't think it is. $15 a month isn't bad, but I just don't know what it gets you. Um, if it sets you apart, maybe that people are like, all right, this person's verified, so it's cool. Um, like they might think it's like you're more legit. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, like you know, it's I don't know if it's worth paying for. I don't think it is. But if you wanted it, I would say go for it. Um, yeah, because I don't know what it gets you, or I don't know what it unlocks, or if it does anything business wise for you. $15 a month is not bad, but it's also I could figure out some other things to do with $15 a month. You know what I mean? But I know some people do get the blue check mark for security reasons. Like they don't want somebody to create a fake account using their name or something like that, so they get it. Uh, but you know, let me see, get the following first. Yeah, and if the following's based around music, I would say the music should stay the thing. You know what I mean? I think that's what you're talking about. Almost up in G. responding to the person talking about, I think it was Blessed Side talking about music and the brand. But if you're just talking about merch for your music, that's an easy thing to sell, man. Especially if you're a touring artist. If you're in the music biz and you're a touring artist, meaning you're doing a lot of live shows, selling merch should be fucking key to what you're doing. Any venue you pop up at, you should have a table set up for merch. Um, I used to do this for a lot of artists. This is like early 2000s. When I say early 2000s, Pro Tools just came out. So when Pro Tools first, no, wait, Pro Tools was only for Macs at the time. And it was the DigiDesign 001 or 002 was the interface that worked with Pro Tools and a Mac at the time for home recording studios. This is before Mboxes. This is before all that shit. It was only allowed on Mac. And it was the interface, the only interface you could use was the DigiDesign 001 or whatever. I used to help new artists make merch for their tours, for their shows coming up. I would do CD inserts for them. I used to print their CD inserts. I used to do their CD burning for them. I used to package all that shit up for artists. Most of those artists just wanted their name on a t-shirt. It was just cool to have your name on a t-shirt back then. If you're a rapper or a singer or you're performing somewhere and you're on stage and you had your name on your shirt, it was like you were somebody. And it was also good promo for people to take pictures of you. You know, you're rocking the mic and your name is on your shirt so people know who you are. Um, but the good thing was getting people to buy merch was pretty easy because if they're already at the show listening to you, coming out to rock with you, like buying tickets to come and see you, chances are they're more than likely down enough to buy merch to support you. Now, how does that differ from merch to a brand? If the people don't know you own the brand, most of the time they want to support the artist and not really what the artist is doing on the outside. So like some artists, you know, hook up with like a alcohol company or a drink of some sorts, right? And most of the time if the artist doesn't have influence over their crowd, they're not going to buy into that alcohol. And yeah, the artist might say, "Hey, I'm an investor in this or I'm a co-owner of this tequila or whatever it is." If the artist doesn't have influence over the crowd is not going to fuck with that tequila. They're just going to be like, yeah, whatever. But if they came out to see you, bought tickets to see you, chances are they buy your merch that says your name, your band's name, whatever it is, over some company that you're a part of or some company you started. That's just how people are. So if you are a music artist and you're trying to sell shit, I would sell merch and not a brand. And I would just start to build it that way. But if you were like, nah, fuck it, I don't want to do merch, I want to do a brand, I would use the brand to help pump the music instead of using the music to pump the brand, if that makes sense. What do all I need to set up somewhere to sell? It all depends where you're trying to sell. You might need a permit depending on where you're trying to sell. You might need insurance depending on where you're trying to sell. If you're just selling in a fucking parking lot, you don't need nothing. But if you're selling at like a festival, you might need insurance and a permit. Depending on the state, the county that you're in, they might have different regulations for what you can do and what you can't do. I know when you like, if you're selling at a flea market, they ask you to get a day pass for the county that they're selling in. Um, but that's usually it. Like, there's some I vend at some places where you need a fire extinguisher, you need a resale permit, you need insurance. I've also vended in a bar where I didn't need nothing but a table to put my t-shirts on. So all of that stuff, it's dependent on what the situation calls for. But if you're just talking about like what kind of gear you need, you'll need some tables. You'll need something to bring your t-shirts to the spot, like some totes. I wouldn't use just cardboard boxes because those could rip easily. I would probably invest in some good sturdy totes or bins with lids. Um, you would probably need some kind of point of sale app to operate off your phone or an iPad or something like that. You would need something to process credit card transactions. So getting like a Shopify point of sale app with their card reader, or Stripe or PayPal, they offer them. Or if you're just operating on QR codes, then I would print the QR codes and put them on the table. What else would you need? You need bags to put them in when people buy shit from you. Possibly a chair so you don't got to stand all day. Maybe a banner of some sort that said what the name of your company is, so people know who you are. You could get some grid walls if you wanted to, maybe an easy up pop-up tent. You might need one of those depending if you're outdoors. If you're doing a nighttime gig, you would have to figure out lighting. So you'll either have to use rechargeable lighting or battery powered lighting if there's no power outlets close to you. That'll depend on the venue that you're at. But I've done everything from sell shit out of the car, out of a parking lot, to selling out of the entrance of a bar. I've set up in restaurants before. I've set up all over the place, man. I've set up in a fucking karate dojo before. It's always just depending on what you're doing and where you're at. You kind of have to adapt to those, like to that environment. I've done soccer fields, basketball gyms, volleyball gyms. I've done um, baseball fields. The snack stand or the concession stand, I've sold in those before. So all those things require something different. But legally speaking, there some places, if it's a controlled marketplace or something like that, there's going to be an entrance fee. Like you have to pay for your booth space, and then you might have to have your reseller permit, because the city might come and check to see if everybody is on the up and up. So they'll check your reseller permit, and they might check if you have a fire extinguisher handy in case some shit pops off. And yeah, so sometimes the city or the county might ask for you to get insurance, like liability insurance, in case they walk into your booth and, I don't know, something hanging from the top of the tent hits them in the head and they try to sue. Um, so you would need some kind of liability insurance too. Let me see. I'm a little behind, but hoping to get the ebook later this week. Thank you for all the work that went into bringing it to fruition. Um, Cheeks. Oh no, Chicas. I think that's what it is. Appreciate it. There's no rush on the ebook. It's there. Bigbrando.com if you wanted to pick it up. Whenever you're ready, it'll be there. Um, the main thing I want people to know about the ebook is it's made to help you promote your business and sell your products. If I said anything on this live stream, it's mainly that. That's what it's for. If you're looking for something to turn you into an influencer or content creator, get a million followers and shit like that, this is not the ebook for you. This ebook is just to help you get discovered, but we're not looking for followers. We are looking for dollars. So please remember that. It's mainly just on how to promote your business on social media, how I've been doing it, how I've been selling all my t-shirts. I never promote my services. I never promote like, hey, let me print your t-shirts or hit me up so I could embroider hats. I never say that in any video, but my DMs and comments are always filled with people asking that same exact question. It's because of the strategy I use to get discovered. It puts me and what I do in front of thousands and thousands of people that automatically just say, hey, you know what? I was looking to get some t-shirts done for this family reunion. Bingo, this person popped up showing me that they can print these t-shirts. Let me hit them up. That's how that works. So my DMs and my comments are always filled with people asking me for that service, but I never once promoted that service or said I do that for people. But I know the marketing strategy works and it's landing on the right eyeballs because of those comments. That kind of solidifies why that's important to do things the way I've been doing them, if that's what you're looking for. I hope that makes sense. How to get a contract to press shirts in bulk, like schools and etc. This is how I used to do it for schools. Was I never went directly to the school to do it. I went through booster clubs and I went through PTA. Every high school has a PTA. Or most schools have a booster club. Not all of them. These are the people that control pep rallies at the Booster Club. They control the parents and the fans and stuff like that at football games. So it's easy to do shirts for them. And then it's also easy to do shirts for the PTA because they do a lot of fundraisers. So whenever a PTA is doing a fundraiser, bake sale, what else is some other ones outside of the bake sale? I'm blanking right now, but whenever they're looking for fundraisers, you can do the PTA shirts for them that the members wear, and you can also pitch them on making school t-shirts to sell. And I'm not saying use the actual school name, but you could use like the mascot's name. You could use like for instance, Gardena High School is their mascot is the Panthers. So you can make shirts that say Go Panthers. In Gardena High School's colors is green and black. So I can make black t-shirt with green letters with a white stroke that says Go Panthers, say Go Gardena. It could say anything of those sorts. The reason you want to go this route is because it's easier to do it this way because the PTA is a big ass network. It's a bunch of parents and teachers together in one room. Those parents and teachers know hundreds of thousands of other people. So when they find out, oh shit, this person is doing the shirts for the PTA, anytime somebody else says, hey, we need shirts done, they say, hey, we got a guy. So being the guy is dope. And then by the time it makes it to the principal or to the athletic director of the school and they need stuff done, you're the person. Now, with the Booster Club stuff, it's dope because you can make a ton of money. Once you go through them, you could do the same exact thing, make things in school colors, and it could just say generic shit, let go, whatever the school name is, and you'll be good to go. Not using their logos, you're not using any of that shit. You're just using the school colors and the name of the city or the school, the mascot, blah, blah, blah. Where this adds a little extra for the Booster Club is a lot of times parents want to come out and support their kid playing on Friday night when the football game's going on. So you make shirts for the quarterback. So let's say the quarterback's name is fucking Smith and he's number 7. Now you could make shirts that say Smith number 7 for the friends and family, and then they start showing that around. So Friday afternoon when the pep rally is going on in school, you could also make some shirts for Smith to throw some out into the crowd. Now that gets that shit rolling too. So utilize the Booster Club, utilize the PTA. They're easier to contact and they're easier to get a hold of and easier to start printing for right away than going to the actual principal or the athletic director, because a lot of times what the athletic director is doing is they're going directly through Holloway, they're going directly through Augusta, the people that make the jerseys. So they're getting everything done, t-shirts, they're getting the warm-ups done, they're getting the duffel bags done, they're getting the Letterman jackets done, all through those companies already, and they're probably getting a package deal. There's no way a home creator is going to be able to compete with that. So you go the backdoor route and you go through the PTA. The PTA is not going to go through Holloway and Augusta because they're not buying 100,000 pieces. They're only looking for maybe 48 pieces, 72 pieces to sell for a fundraiser. You go that route, you make way more money. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's what I used to do when I wanted to print for schools. Price range depends on you. How much are the blank t-shirts? How much is the pricing going to be for like your transfers that you're using? How many pieces? And then also your labor. Knowing your labor, like what you value your time at. I can't tell you what you value your time at. That's something that you have to figure out personally, is what is your time worth to you? I know what my labor is worth. So I know what jobs to take in and what not to take in, but it's always going to be based on what do I sacrifice throughout the day. If I'm not at home and I'm going to be printing these t-shirts, how much is that time worth of me not being home worth to charge somebody? That's it. The way I price my shit out is I know what I could be doing for an hour to make X amount of dollars. So that's what my time is worth in dollars. I know I could be doing this to make this much money. If you don't know that, then you have to sit down and really think about your sacrifices. What are you doing? What do you think your time is worth? And a perfect example of that is who your employer is. If you have a day job and your day job, before you get that job, they tell you, hey, thanks for coming into this interview. This job pays X amount of dollars. Let's say it's $20 an hour. You have the ability to say, nah, this job ain't for me because I'm worth more than $20 an hour. But if you agree to that $20 an hour, then that's you placing the value on your time and your life. That's you agreeing and saying, you know what, $20 is good enough for me. You know what I mean? So that's you placing that value on your life. Yeah, we all want to be worth $500 an hour or whatever it is. That's cool. But realistically speaking, whatever your day job pays you right now, if you think you're worth more, you would leave that job and get more. But if you don't, and you're there and you're working for that much money, you could complain all day long, but that's the value you placed on your time. Take that as a benchmark. Use that, because if you weren't printing t-shirts, you'd be doing your day job, and that's how much you'd be getting paid an hour. So if you weren't doing these t-shirts, and let's say you're a security guard, you make $20 an hour. If you get paid anything under $20 an hour doing t-shirts, then that means you're undervaluing yourself. You know what I mean? Because you get paid more at your day job than you would with t-shirts. So why are you doing t-shirts if you're not making the same amount of money? You know what I mean? It's all about leveling yourself up. And now I'm not saying go out here and charge fucking $50 an hour and that's going to solve everything. That's not how that works. You have to figure out what your time is worth, your experience level, what's the customer going to get. Now, whatever your hourly rate is, break that down. How long does it take you to print a shirt, like front and back? Time yourself. What realistically, how long does it take you to lay the shirt down? How long does it take you to like center up the transfer, press it, peel it up, turn it around, do the same exact thing? How long does that take? Now you start breaking down your hourly rate down to like by the minute, and then you'll find out what your time is worth per shirt and all that good shit. How many shirts you could do in an hour and blah blah blah. So use your day job as the benchmark of what you think you should be getting paid, and then you'll figure out what your time is worth to you. $100 an hour, cool. I'm not going to dispute that. You know what I mean? It's up to you and your customers. You know what I mean? If that's what your shit's worth, by all means, you go for that shit. Do you know where can get soccer jerseys wholesale with good quality? If you're in Los Angeles, you could go to the fashion district, especially right now because the World Cup just ended. You could go down Main Street. I don't know the name of the place. I want to say it's called All Sports, but I might be wrong. But if you're on Main Street and you're going north on Main Street, right after you pass the 10 freeway, there's two shops on the left hand side. Maybe that's 14th and 13th in Maine, that sell blank sports jerseys, basketball, baseball, football, soccer. Um, if you're looking for like custom colors and shit like that, you're gonna have to find a sublimation house to do that for you. But if you're just looking for like ready to go, like let's just say fucking green and white, they'll probably have that, or black and white, they'll probably have that, or like black and yellow, they'll have like just standard color soccer jerseys, they'll have them there. But online, I have no idea. But if you're in Los Angeles, that's where you do it. Oh, you're from Jamaica? I have no idea, man. I don't know anybody online that does that kind of shit. You would need to look for a big sublimation house that does cut and sew if you wanted to get like some custom ones done. Uh, but then outside of that, you would have to figure out like what like the minimums would be and stuff. So I can't help you there, man. Blank soccer jerseys, hard to get. Um, I want to say, yeah, if you just Google um, sublimated jerseys, just Google that, and I'm pretty sure shit'll pop up. Or just type in wholesale soccer jerseys, blank wholesale soccer jerseys, and some websites will pop up for you. You would have to figure out the pricing and shit like that on your own, because it's like, are you putting like, do you want them to put the brand name, like your logo on it and shit like that? Or did you just want them blank and then you were going to press the shit yourself? That'll affect the price also, because they might have ready made ones already that you could choose from. But if you're doing like full custom where you wanted them to do the printing, then that's a whole nother thing, because a lot of times for soccer jerseys, they'll sublimate the whole, like, individual pieces, and then they sew it together after. Um, like I went through a company overseas to do some basketball jerseys for me, and then that's kind of how it was done. Was like they just had all the material, they sublimated it all at once, and then they cut it out, sewed it together, piece by piece. Because it's in the U.S. Yeah, if he's in L.A., check it out. But if he's not in L.A., I couldn't help you, man. Uh, that would be the best bet. If you had to find some shit overseas, I just Google the shit. Just type in Google blank jerseys, shit'll pop up for you. I need to put my $1,200 heat press to work. It's collecting dust. Yeah, put that shit to work, man. Start making money with that thing. You know, when it comes to heat pressing and it comes to like having the equipment, like you bought the equipment, which is the hard part to do. Most people kind of get stuck at that point because they don't know what to buy. When people get their equipment, then they don't know what to do with it. Um, but figuring that part out is pretty easy, especially if you know your customer. Know your customer, then you'll know exactly what to make. Like all you have to think is like, all right, I want to make shit for these people right here, and then you just make shit for them. Uh, your heat press will run all day long. You know what I mean? I did some custom ones during the World Cup, so I wanted to do some for this new season of soccer, but it's hard to get good suppliers, bro. Yeah, I hear you on that, man. Best like my best advice to you is go on Google and find an overseas person. Being that you're already in Jamaica, it's kind of an easier call than being in the States and going overseas. Um, and find a supplier that can do everything for you. You know what I mean? 718 Unlimited. What's happening? That's a New York thing, man. I noticed that yurt is a New York thing. I always hear the homies on the bikes yelling that shit out on the big bike rides, which is pretty funny. And then I notice kids out here in LA try to pick up on that shit and do it, and I'm like, oh man, you guys are doing it wrong. You know what I mean? That's something I heard in New York first. Um, let me see. Yeah, if anybody else got questions, man, we did an hour 47. I guess we'll do another 10 minutes. We'll do a full 2 hours. Um, if you guys got questions, man, shoot them out. I'm surprised the district don't ship. Which district? Let me see. Also, when doing custom jerseys like cut and sew, uh, am I late or are we live? Yeah, we still live, man. Um, when doing cut and sew, samples are a big deal, man. Get the samples, you know what I mean? Like the fashion district and stuff like that in LA. Yeah, because all that stuff is all cash. You know what I mean? They rarely even deal with credit cards there, so it's made in cash, just straight up. And that shit, the fashion district is cracking, man. You get down there in the morning and you'll have all these trucks pulling up, vans, trucks, people buying fucking by the fucking ton, blanks, whatever they're selling, whatever they need down there. They're just pulling up. Every loading station is people waiting right there, and they're just buying shit. Like the fashion district just kind of like has this weird buzz to it. Like when I say buzz, like there's just shit moving everywhere. Hat suppliers, blank t-shirt suppliers, jerseys, jackets. There's manufacturers behind these places that sell the blanks. So like if you wanted to get embroidery done, if you wanted to get patches made, if you wanted to get silk screen done, if you wanted to get shit like your own tag sewn in, you show up with your own textile. Like you could have a roll of some material and show up with a pattern, and somebody will be right there and willing to sew your shit out right there for you. Um, it's crazy down there. So yeah, I mean, they don't ship nothing because the shit just like shit moves daily down there. Like it moves. Really crazy to see how it works. What if I made my city shirts? Do you think they would sell? If your city's into it, man, your city's got to be down with the shit. You know what I mean? Like if you're selling city stuff, when I sold Gardena stuff, the city of Gardena is small. It's a small city south of LA. It's in between a lot of other big cities, Torrance, Hawthorne, Compton, Long Beach, Carson, like all of these bigger cities kind of like butt up. Long Beach doesn't really butt up with Gardena, but it's close enough. But there's a sense of pride for that city, you know what I mean? So when I made it, it was like people that don't live here no more wanted to rep the shit. People that live in the city currently wanted to rep the shit. The gang, every gangster in my city wanted to rep the neighborhood, so they was buying the shit. So it works when the city is rocking with the shit. You know what I mean? It's an easy way of making some quick money. Um, but also, your city. You don't have to be a somebody within the city, but your city has to rock with it in order for it to work. Let me see. I tried going to the fashion district about 7 years ago, and they acted like they don't want to do business, brushing me off. I was surprised. A lot of it has to do with they don't deal with. They just want they want people to come in knowing already what the fuck they want. Like if you're in there to shop, they really don't rock with you. That's just how they are. Um, so if you go in there already knowing like, yo, give me 3 dozen of these, 4 dozen of these, a dozen of these, how much? Then it's like, all right, cool, boom, boom, boom. But if you're going in there and you're asking questions or you're going in there just shopping around, then they kind of don't deal with you because they feel like you're trying to price them out and you're just looking for the cheapest deal. You know what I mean? And maybe that's not the case, but that's how they feel. I've noticed that a lot when going down there, and I already know what I want. I know the suppliers that I use, so I'm going in and I'm just, I need a dozen of these hats. I need 6 dozen of these hats. I need this. And then I'll see somebody else in there that's like piecing their orders together. Like, oh, I'll take 2 of these and 1 of these and blah, blah, blah. A lot of times they're just like, nah, that shit is fucking like, that's out for them because they don't want to have to deal with that. You know what I mean? They rather move in bulk and quantity than trying to piece things together. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I've seen how they treat other people when they go into these spaces. Um, and even when you're like new and you are trying to ask questions, they're not there to educate you. You know what I mean? We always feel a sense of entitlement, like, hey man, help me get on. Like, I'm trying to learn here, but everybody's not out to teach. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you go out there and you ask questions, they brush you off because they're like they don't want to deal with you because they know you're new. And that's kind of a shitty deal, but that's just how the shit works down there. Um, and I'm not saying you got to know everything about it, but you do have to go in there with an attitude of you're about your business and let me just get in and get out type of deal. You know what I mean? That's how I learned because I used to go to King Sportswear all the time, and they were a big supplier of All Style and Pro Club at the time. And when I first started going there, I was asking questions like, "Yo, how much is All Style compared to Pro Club, and how much is the Pro Club Comfort compared to All Style? And do you guys get All Style 1701s?" And they only carried 1301s. I didn't know that. So I was just asking questions. So by the time I was like getting ready to place my order, there was already a line of people behind me already with their list in their hand, like giving it to the dude. And then the dude just grabbing it and they're already fulfilling orders while I'm over here asking questions. So I knew I was taking up their time. So I didn't even buy nothing that day. So I went back. And then when I came back the next time, I was prepared and I was like the other people. I'm like, yo, I need 2 dozen large, 2 dozen extra large, 3 dozen 2X Pro Club white heavyweight. The next thing you know, boom, it's on the table for me. And then I'm like, all right, I need this, this, and this in black. Boom, it's on the table for me. That shit works. You know what I mean? It's just how the shit works down there. It's just money, and it's a quick exchange, and that's it. Uh, is it friendly? No, it's not. Is it the way they do business down there? Very much so. You know what I mean? And you can't have no hard feelings on it. It's just the way they operate, I guess. You know what I mean? Did you sell your shirts on Facebook Marketplace? Hell, and I sold them shits in parking lots, man. I put them shits in my trunk. I used to have a Honda Pilot. Um, I put them in bins, and I would pull up to fucking parking lots, and I'd sell them inside the city. So if I was like, for example, Western and Artesia in the city of Gardena, there used to be a Burger King there. There's a In and Out there now, but it used to be a Burger King, and it was closed down already. And there's a Starbucks, there was a Chinese food spot, and there was an Albertsons supermarket, all in this little plaza. I would pull up on the backside of that parking lot by that rundown Burger King that was no longer in business, so I wasn't fucking with nobody else's shit. And then I would pull up right there, pop my trunk, and then I would use Twitter. Back then, I was using Twitter, and I would just be like, "Yo, I'm selling these T-shirts on Western and Artesia. I'm gonna be here from 6 to 8 or until I'm sold out. Pull up." And then people started coming, and I wasn't utilizing foot traffic. I was driving the people to come to see me in that parking lot based on Twitter. I stole this idea from the people that used to do food trucks, like the gourmet food trucks. Um, at the time, they were using Twitter like that, and they'll be like, "Yo, we're gonna pull up to this location at this time. This is the menu," and it would drive a bunch of people. So I was like, "Man, if that shit works for food, this shit's got to work for T-shirts." So I would post on Twitter, "I got these T-shirts. I'm selling them for this much. I'm gonna be over here." And then I just pull up in that parking lot from whatever time. If I said 6 to 8, I post up for 6 to 8. People come through, buy the shirts, and that was it. Cash. If you want to see how that shit worked, I used to run a brand called Gardena Originals. You could still see that Instagram page. I no longer run that. I sold that brand long time ago. It was something that I started long time ago. But that Instagram is still active, so you could like scroll down to the very bottom of Gardena Originals, and then you can see how I was doing the shit because I started posting my parking lot flyers and the meetups and how I was selling the shit out the trunk on there, and it'd be a picture of my Honda Pilot. I had a black Honda Pilot, 2014, I think it was. Popped the trunk, had the T-shirts in the back, and people would just pull up, and I'd sell stuff. And then I started using Instagram more than Twitter because I could post pictures. So I would post shirts, I'd post the flyer. I started making cool little flyers, and then I would just have the shit on there. Let me see if I can pull the shit up for you so you can see. Um, but yeah, that shit was it was easy, man. And I'm not trying to say easy like, yeah, this shit is just anybody can do it type of deal, but it was easy in the sense of that's just what I used to do. So let me scroll down here. I used to do free giveaways on the shit. I used to do scavenger hunts in my city to get people to come outside and look for free shit. That's how I would launch products. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll down to the bottom so you can see how that shit works. Because I know there's pictures of my old truck and stuff on there. Yeah, so I just post shit like this. I'm in front of Papa John's on Western and Artesia. That, and then here's when I was using my pickup truck to sell T-shirts out of. There's the Papa John's. There's my truck. Let me see. Here's my Honda Pilot. Sorry, that light's in the way. There's my Honda Pilot. There's the Papa John's. This is in January of 2015 when I was doing this shit. And then it'd just be like dumb shit like this. Like, let me see. Most of the time, I give my son shirts and he'd take pictures for me. But like, I do like flyers like this, and look, that's just a picture of my dumbass promoting the shirts, and then tell you where I was selling at. So I ended up selling in bars, restaurants, all kind of like crazy out of the parking lot. I mean, out of the trunk, in the parking lot. Trying to find some of these other. There's like when I started doing hats, I would post the hats that I would be selling, and then um I would do these. Oh, here's another parking lot. This is during the day, but hat boxes, and then uh those little drop down totes in there with the t-shirts folded up in there. I just sell the shit out the trunk, man. Within my city. And then the city just rocked with you. Like people would buy shit all the time. Here's me selling inside of a bar. Uh this is crazy because the shit's been a long ass time. But yeah, then I started doing scavenger hunts within the city. So then what I would do is I would be like, yo, um, I'm gonna give away some free t-shirts today, post it on the Instagram, and then I post like some shit that people know in the city, like popular landmarks around the city. Like, if you know where this is, this t-shirt's going to be waiting for you. And then people would come out, search for the shit, find it, post it. So then that's how this shit started to look. Was I would just put them in poly mailers, like here's package 1 and 2. I'm going to drop them off, and then when people would find them, then they would post, "Hey, I just found this one. That's at a skate park that I dropped off in." And then somebody would post this shit like, "Yo, I found this one outside of a liquor store." So I was leaving shit all around the city, and it was getting people to come out. And then the city started to fuck with everything that I was doing, and it was all free. I was giving away some free t-shirts, but then for every free t-shirt, I'm selling multiples because people can't find everything. So they're like, "Yo, he's giving shit out." So the only way you could buy shit was finding me in a parking lot or in a bar or a restaurant in the city selling the stuff. So it was actually getting out and touching the people, but the idea came from the food trucks. It wasn't my idea. I just borrowed their idea and did the shit for myself. So the food trucks would post, "Yo, I'm selling tacos over here at this place. Here's the location, here's the menu." Instead, what I was doing was I was saying, "Yo, I'm selling these t-shirts here in this parking lot. Pull up if you want to buy some t-shirts." Selling the shit out the trunk is an easy way to fucking get it going. It's not the only way to do it, but it's an easy way to do it. When it comes to Facebook Marketplace, I don't know what the clientele on there looks like. I don't know if that's just where people are trying to wheel and deal and just trying to fucking lowball you. I don't know I don't know anything about that world, so I wouldn't be able to help you out. But if you want the city to get behind you, you kind of have to be in the city for them to fuck with you, if that makes sense. But that's how I used to do that shit, and I used to get it like I was probably doing pop ups once or twice a week. Like when I got off of work, I would just be like, "Yo, I'm gonna pull up over here, slang some shirts," and people come out. They would buy 10 to 20 t-shirts a night when I was out there, and then it started to get a little bit more, where we're doing like 30 something to 50 t-shirts a night, and then yeah, and that was all no website, no nothing. It was if you wanted the t-shirt, you had to find me in the city, and that's what made it cool for the people to represent the city. Was I got a chance to meet the people, they got a chance to know who was selling the shit, and that's just basically what I did for fucking years, man. And then built it up and then sold it because it was just like there I couldn't do any more for that brand, so I ended up just fucking saying, "Yo, fuck it." Your next ebook should be guerrilla marketing techniques. That's exactly what the ebook is now. It's guerrilla marketing, but on social media. It's the same exact thing. Remember when I first started this live, I was talking about thinking outside the box on marketing and stuff like that. That's what that shit is thinking outside the box to do guerrilla marketing on social media. Same tactics that I would use on the outside, I'm using on social media, basically to get people to buy shit from me. You know what I mean? And it's not everybody could think like that. And I get that. And that's why I made that book, to help people to start to learn to think like that and utilize the same exact strategies I'm using. That's what that ebook is. It's guerrilla marketing on social media. When you read it and you get it, you're going to understand why it's like that. It's because we're not telling people, "Hey, come and buy my t-shirts." We're just exposing people to the t-shirts you make or the services you provide without them even knowing that that's what they're fucking looking at. That's how that shit works. 1000%. That's how I've been selling the West Side shirt. If you think I'm lying, I've never promoted that West Side t-shirt on anything else. It's all been on TikTok and Instagram, and it's just me making the shirt, and people are noticing the shirt I'm making. That's what they're buying from me. I've sold that t-shirt for the last 5 or 6 years, and we've sold thousands of those t-shirts all off of social media, guerrilla marketing on social media. That's all it is. That same exact strategy is what's taught in that book on how to do it. That's why I said it's for people that need this kind of information. If you don't need help selling anything, like if you already got that part dialed in for yourself, then this book won't help you. But if you needed help selling products, selling services, learning how to sell your t-shirts on social media, that's what that ebook is for. That's why I made it for people that need that information. I don't think everybody needs it, but for the ones that do, and for the ones that get it, they thrive with it. There's a dude, he was running a brand called Threaded Headwear. Now it's, I think Thread Noggins is the name. He has a dope little logo. I don't know if he's on here. He's come to my shop and my store for like the last, I don't know, 2, 3 years or something like that. And I've always talked to him about the shit on how to do this kind of stuff. And I would give him information all day long. He drives down to my store, we chop it up. I let him know exactly, what would work, what wouldn't work, what he should start doing. He took that info and ran with the shit. He runs a hat company and kills the shit now. And all it is just like, I talk about selling t-shirts and he's selling hats, but he just took the same information that I told him that works with t-shirts and applied it to his company and started killing shit. And now he's fucking thriving with the shit. Like last time I talked to him, he came out to the festival that I was vending at, gave me a little update on what he was doing, and the dude is killing shit. And it's loosely based on the shit that I talk about in this book, Teach. Where can we get the book? BigBrando.com. Just type in Big Brando, like my name is spelled, BigBrandoh.com. It's on there. It's the first product on there. You could check it out. It's a video series and ebook. So you get the ebook. There's links in the ebook to videos that go with certain chapters. That way you have visual indication on how the shit works. And I teach everything from how to shoot the content, how to edit the content down, and how to post the content so it could be as impactful as possible for your business. I show how to fucking turn one job into multiple pieces of content so you don't have to like overthink making content, because the goal isn't to like turn you into content creators or get you to pick up another job as a content creator. It's just showing you how what you do already can be turned into content and use it to promote your business to make sales. And every business that I've implemented this on, they've seen uptick in profit, uptick in their client pool, and just kind of change their business on being discovered on social media. That's what it is. But it's for everybody. If you want it, it's there. Go to BigBrando.com. The ebook is on there. The information is useful for anybody. I don't care what kind of business you run. If you sell a product or a service, the information in that book will help your business thrive. It'll help you make some money. That's ultimately what we're trying to do, right? AJ Embroidery, what's happening? Shout out to Australia, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you jumping on and checking it out. I don't even know what time it is in Australia, but here in Los Angeles, it's 9:08 p.m. So I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching, jumping on. Once again, if you wanted to check out the ebook, it's on BigBrando.com. Ebook video series is all in there. There's also diagrams that I made to show placement of where to put the camera and all that shit, especially if you don't want to put your face on camera. I give the demo on what you can do to not have your face on camera. If you are worried about that kind of stuff, like I said, we're not trying to turn you into influencers or social media personalities. We're just trying to promote the business so we can make some fucking money. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you guys got any questions, shoot them out. If not, I'm gonna jump off this thing. We did a little over 2 hours already. You could rewatch this live if you wanted to. If I said anything on YouTube that you might have missed, it'll be live for you on there. I know I was talking a lot about the book, but it was because a lot of people was unsure about what the book's even about. So hopefully I explained it for you guys here. But thank you guys. Can I buy the book here from Jamaica? Does it accept our cards? I think so. I don't see why not. Try it out and see. It's through Shopify. It's on there. Hopefully it works for y'all. I need the book. I'm gonna try to order it. Appreciate that. Yeah, try it out, man. See if it works. I don't think I've ever had anybody from Jamaica try to buy something from me, so that'll be a first. And if it doesn't work, let me know on Instagram. Be like, yo, like Jamaicans can't buy this shit, then I'll try to figure out a way to get it going. But try it out. All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Once again, bigbrando.com got it. And I do these live streams every single Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace.